Hey guys, it is Friday. Going outside, gonna go online on Uber Eats at about 3 p.m. Apparently that's when Canada World Cup game is supposed to be happening or something around now. So I kind of thought it'd be neat to do a bit of Uber during that time. And as you can see on College Street, they're setting up Taste of Little Italy. I do kind of wonder if the regular restaurants like the street festivals, because usually people just stay on the street and then don't go past the tents to the regular businesses, but maybe they like it, who knows. But yeah, I got that crystal tahini pickup and some ramen at Ramen Ishin, and I'm biking east. Yeah, the bike lane, very messy here. Kind of felt like there was a street sweeping, and did they like dump all the dirt into the bike lane? I don't know, kind of messed up. But yeah, did those drop offs and doing some more picking up some Poke Bowl stuff. Got that over to a new building that I'd never delivered to before. It's yeah. And get some Chipotle. Last time I picked up from this Chipotle, it took a long time. But this time I was like, I'm gonna just shout at them, but I didn't need to. They just asked me. That it seemed like they knew that I was picking up food. So I guess sometimes people are just bad at their jobs. Yeah, I went to this McDonald's and it looked busy in there and it was taking a while, so I just canceled that pickup. And then I was gonna go home, but I got a St. Louis pickup that was decent money. So went in here, thought it might be crazy in here because there were a lot of people at the doorway, but it was actually pretty fast. People are on top of things in here, so that was nice. And that's turned into a triple delivery. I guess that St. Louis Bar and Grill one was going kind of far, so the app does seem to like adding on deliveries when I do a long distance one. And I did 2 drop-offs on the east end, and then the St. Louis one was actually back in the core. And then I zigged back over to the east end and did a shop and pay at this Food Basics, which is not the closest Food Basics to where this person is getting the groceries delivered, so that seemed a little bit weird. Wound up dropping them off at like Church and Wellesley area, and then I got a triple request from Nando's, and yeah, dropped that off. One of them at Bay Street, and then the other 2 were down along these new buildings. Yeah, that big building at the bottom of Yonge Street is kind of a monster building. And then at Downs Road, kind of dislike these Downs Road buildings because the elevators are weird and the apartment numbers are laid out poorly in the hallway. It's like, well, you go right and you have apartment 1, but then also like 14 to 16 kind of thing. It's like, split it up so it's like you got your low numbers on one side of the hallway and your high numbers on the other side of the hallway. Like, it's not that hard, but whatever. I went offline and went and hung out at this Loblaws, watching the Sugar Crane do his stuff. And it's got a good public washroom in here, so I use that. And these days I normally get hungry around 3 p.m, but that's when I actually started, so I'm feeling pretty hungry right now. Kind of walked around looking for some deals. I bought a cheap salad, and they marked down the chicken right as I was going by that, so that was nice. Got some 9-piece tender bucket, although when I counted it later, it was only 8 pieces. At least it was half price, so that's pretty good still. But yeah, I hung out in that Loblaws for a while, and then I felt like going home, so Going up Simcoe. Seems like there's a bit of hubbub going on here. I guess it's the rolling motorcade kind of action. We got the motorcycle cops making sure nobody's crossing the street. And I did see a video online of Team Canada coming to Toronto like a couple days ago. And I had a feeling it is kind of like 6 p.m.-ish, something like that. So I imagine they're done playing their game and maybe they won or lost, I don't know. But I think that's the team going by. Not sure who this guy is in the last SUV. Waving to the fans. Maybe that's a soccer player. I don't know. But, yeah. That was neat. I think they're staying around here. I might have mentioned that earlier, but at this Delta hotel. It's a nice hotel, but normally there isn't like 5 security guards or whatever watching over that parking garage entrance, so it does make me think somebody important staying there. Yeah. Also seems like there might be a Blue Jays game going on. Just a lot of people downtown. I guess that's a Friday evening for you though. And I figured I should make a detour and go check out Nathan Phillips Square. Since it seems like the Fan Fest zone is like crazy, like huge lineups to even get into the Fan Fest zone. Now that it is open for the full day. But whatever. People playing. Some kicking around a ball. Yeah, that's fun. Normally this is like a little reflecting pond, but I guess they've turned it into like a AstroTurf soccer field. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, I'm heading home, feeling kind of sweaty. It was a pretty hot one. That was another reason why I didn't start going online right away. My app was saying that it was going to be 27 degrees outside, but it was fairly breezy. It didn't really feel too hot most of the time. Sometimes when I was in the direct sun it did feel pretty bad, but for the most part, pretty nice. Anyways, Tasted a Little Italy is starting to pop off. I thought about walking through this, but I'm kind of tired, so I'm just gonna go home. I did enjoy looking at all the cars that were driving down Markham, and I feel like they're getting what they deserve, because a lot of people drive down Markham as like, they think it's like a little secret route to avoid going down Bathurst. So like, I'll just drive really fast down Markham and almost hit a guy like me on a bike, because they just have to go as fast as they can on the 30-kilometer street. But yeah. Anyways, I had a shower and rested for a while, and I'm going back out. Gonna go find Adam and Alex. They're down here for Toronto Games Week event that's just wrapped up. Yeah, this bike that I took out had a missing handlebar and bell, which apparently you can report on the app, so I reported that. Anyways, their thing was over and I wanted to go hang out with them, so found them at Mojito. Yeah, Mark also here. Yeah. It was donut day a few days ago, and Adam, he's been craving a donut since, so we were only a few minutes away from Krispy Kreme, and he got to fulfill his donut dreams of eating a donut. Yeah, looked good. It was like Oreo filled or something. But yeah, there's a bit of an after party from the Toronto Games Week event at Free Play Arcade. It's $10 to get in here as a cover charge, but all the arcade games are free. I've never been in here before, so I kind of thought that it wouldn't be that good of a deal, but now that I'm in here, I'm seeing all of the arcade games. Like, there's a ton of arcades, and They're pretty much all free. Like, there's some clog games that I assume are not free because, like, you actually win the prizes kind of thing. But on the second floor, they also have a ton of pinball machines. Like, so many machines that there was always at least one open one. So if you're into pinball, you can easily get $10 worth of value from that, which I feel like I did. And yeah, over there, that's the Despelote guy in the white t-shirt. He was giving a talk about the game. I think that was like the event that Alex and Adam were checking out earlier. And they have the new Pokemon pinball machine. I was like, wow. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and that Pokemon pinball machine has been coming up. I played it for a bit, and it turns out I'm kind of bad at pinball. Which I guess makes sense. It's not like I play pinball all the time. So I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm playing. But yeah, Alex and I played some Street Fighter, checked out this tapping game. There's also like a novelty Cuphead machine. And yeah, Cuphead, that's a neat game. Yeah, Rampage, I think this game was called. Yeah, not a good game. Yeah. Anyways, it's getting late, and the guys are heading home. Alex, he's staying at the arcade. He's like, has not gotten his fill. I was feeling a little bit tired, and it's loud in there. I was ready to go home. So I just walked home. Lots of people out here. Normally I just bike by all of this, but I'm just walking today. But yeah, pretty neat. Pretty lively neighborhood on a Friday and Saturday night. That usually I'm like a crotchety old man and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be a part of that, but you know what, tonight, I guess I kinda was a part of it. So, that was just neat.